Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is Professor Oscar Felipe Bernal Pedraza, the only IMO gold medalist from Colombia. He's a two-time IMO medalist, sharing his story with us today. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's spread this joy, let's spread this beauty to as many people as possible. Two-time IMO medalist, the only gold medalist in Colombian history, Professor Bernal, right ahead. My name is Saul Cantu, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is Professor Bernal. He is a two-time IMO medalist, 1 gold, 1 bronze, representing the country of Colombia. He is the most highly decorated IMO participant in Colombian history, winning their only gold medal to date. He is currently a mathematical professor at the Universidad De Los Andes in Colombia. It pleases me to introduce Professor Oscar Felipe Bernal Pedraza. Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Professor Bernal.
Thank you. And hello to all your audience.
Hey, great. Hey, and I know that you're more comfortable in Spanish, so I really appreciate you doing this in English. Thank you.
I will try. I used to have a better English. I used to live in New York, actually.
Okay.
So over there, my English was a little less, let's say less rusty.
Hey, well, it sounds good. It sounds good so far. So great.
Thank you.
Let's start off by asking, how are you doing? What's keeping you busy nowadays?
Actually, as you said, I'm working with a university in Colombia, but also I think these past few weeks, most of my time has been devoted to the organization of the. I don't know when are you going to put this online, but just to be clear, today is March the 12th for all the audience, and I don't know if you know, but March 14th is the International Day of Mathematics. So I've been working with the Colombian Mathematical Society with these online events for this celebration. So we had one transmission on March the 8th, 2 on March the 9th. Tomorrow we have another 2, and on a Thursday we have another 2. So I've been, all this emailing people. You did this with me, so you know this. So emailing people, getting them ready, telling them how to connect, how to handle all the technical issues, because we had a lot of technical issues in the first transmission. That's what is keeping me busy.
Awesome, awesome. Promoting mathematics. Hey, March 14th is Pi Day. We call it Pi Day, 3.14.
It used to be Pi Day. I mean, everyone knew that. But actually, in 2019, I think, um, the UN promoted it officially to International Day of Mathematics.
Really? I did not know
So,
that. I'm learning now. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, is it all work and no play when not engaged in work? How do you have fun?
oh, this will be kind of embarrassing, but I do Pokemon Go. Uh, and sometimes I have an Xbox, so I do FIFA. Um, I'm from Latin America, so we love our soccer. And sometimes when I'm not in the mood for a screen, I do puzzles. So I don't know if you have. Sorry, I will move the camera a little, but I don't know if you have a view of what is behind me.
Yeah, the world map.
This is a 9,000 something puzzle I did a few years ago.
Really? Wow, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Hey, on FIFA, are you always Colombia?
I try to be always Real Madrid.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. So, hey, I know it's a passion. Football is a passion in Colombia.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, so what languages do you speak?
I will say fluent Spanish, kind of fluent English, not so fluent right now, and decent math.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, so were you born and raised in Colombia? Is that your cultural heritage? What is your cultural heritage?
Yeah, I'm from Bogota. I'm from the capital, Colombia. I've lived here almost all my life. The only time I lived, like had an apartment and that stuff, out of Colombia was in New York, as I said before. But still, even when I was in New York, every single time I had um, the opportunity to come back, I came back.
All right, all right, all right. So when did you realize that you had a talent for mathematics?
This is actually a long story. I don't know how much time do you have. This is a long story.
We have
So
time.
the it began with my sister. She's around 7 years older than me. So whenever she wanted money from mom, she had to take care of me. And her way to take care of me was doing her homework with me, like around. And all those homeworks that were group work, like social studies and that stuff, all of that she did at school. So basically, at home, every time she was doing homework, she was doing math. So I was just around, and she was like doing some math, and I was asking, these questions that probably for her those were silly questions, but for example, she was doing the beginning of algebra and I was like, oh, why are you using an X? That's a letter, that's not a number. Why are you using that in math? And she was kind of explaining. I will say she was not so patient, but with the family, you never are. And but still, when I got to school, uh, I knew a lot of stuff because of her, and mostly I knew a lot of math. I mean, compared with my peers, with the other students. So um, when they were learning probably the numbers from 11 to 20, when you get to two digits, uh, I was adding stuff kind of quickly. So I was always advanced in my math classes. And for that reason, it was always easier for me. Also, I got to school when I was in finishing my elementary and entering my middle. I was 2 years younger than everyone else at my class. So, socializing was not that easy. And what can you do when you cannot speak to other people? You do math.
Ah,
So Well, this is not to encourage people to avoid talking to people because they want to increase their math skills. That's not the idea. But I'm telling you my story, and my story is that because I was not able to engage with my peers easily, I tried to do the thing that was more based on individual work, and it was math.
Wow, wow, wow. Hey, did your sister know she was creating a little genius?
I think she is a genius. I think
Oh, really?
she's yeah. She went for law, and right now she's a very successful um, government lawmaker. So
Wow.
she writes some of the laws that then later go to the Congress and that stuff.
Wow, wow. That's an incredible family. Wow, wow. So, how was your educational experience in Colombia as a youth? Was it a very rigorous? Was it tough?
I think for me was kind of too easy
Oh, really?
because as I said, I had some problems engaging with peers and that stuff. So this don't talk in class and try to not move a lot and that stuff that is probably an issue for some people. For me, it was easy. I was like, I entered the classroom, I went to my desk, and I was in my desk like just quiet. Just I don't want anybody to talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I was just basically paying attention. So um, in those terms, I mean, in my relation with my teachers and that stuff, it was really easy. And because I always had this kind of advantage that I was always a few topics in front of my colleagues, it was it was never a problem. I think also, but this is something that I kind of realized later. Um, when you have the structure of math kind of growing in you, probably the first thing that grows is logic. So all this reasoning, like understanding this happens because of that, for me, it was really easy and making connections. And if you can make those connections and this is related to this and that stuff, then testing is really easy because you will remember everything easier.
Wow, 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 wow. So, who were your inspirations? Your older sister? Any other inspirations?
Oh, my mom and my dad. I think my sister was the first in my mom's family to get a university degree. Uh, my dad, he only did up to, I think, third in elementary, but still he had a very successful business. So I think both my mom, my dad, they told me that you have to do your effort. I mean, of course, you never go beyond what you actually can handle. But if you can handle it, go for it.
Awesome, awesome. Great message, great message. So, how were you selected to represent Colombia in the IMO in 1997 and 1998? How was the selection process?
Well, there is this Colombian National Olympiad. Is called actually, yeah, Colombian Math Olympiad, and it has several rounds. The first round is multiple choice, like traditional A to E multiple choice, and then the questions from round to round kind of change. I mean, in second round, your answer is always an integer number from 0 to 999. So three is still check the boxes, but just three boxes each answer. So 0 to 9, three boxes. And then the third round is like long answer, like you have to do actual um, proofs and that stuff, and you go up to a fourth round, and the fourth round is the final round. So I did I did always the first round. Like, I mean, always in Colombia, we have a K to 11 system, no K to 12 like the US. Um, so elementary is up to five, and then 6 to 9 is middle, and the high school is just 10, 11. So I did this multiple choice the first round, uh, always from 6 to 11. And in from 6 to 8, it was just okay, you got a good score, and there is a second round, and hopefully you will attend that round. And I was always attending, but it was like, I don't care about this, so I'll do whatever. I- But then in eighth grade, I said, I think I can handle this. So I will try. And it was actually not the best score, but still decent. So I was invited to a test. I got the news of that test one day after, so it was not possible for me to attend. But then in ninth grade, it was okay. I'm going for this. I want to go for the full, and I got pretty decent scores. And so grade nine, I did the final round, and it was a very good result for my age. Um, then I was invited to these training sessions. The training sessions were like 3 weeks with a lot of testing, and I hated the testing. So it was like, I will stay here for an hour. Most of the tests were like the IMO 4.5 hours, and I was always like, I'm skipping this. I'm staying for an hour, like scratch something, whatever, and go. But then probably in my second, third, sorry, third training session. So something about 8 months later, somebody told me, we think you are good, but we think you are lazy. So if you want to show us that you are good and not lazy, you have to stay for the full amount of time, even if you have nothing in mind. I mean, if your mind is blank, you still sit there and wait. So I did my first test, it was good. Second test, it was good, and I said, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can handle this, and I can show everyone that this is real, because a lot of people was like, oh, they are just kind of taking your time and they just want to sell you books or something. So uh, because the math Olympiads in Colombia are not so kind of widely known, so most of people was like, you you are just wasting your time.
Oh,
But I said, I want to show them that this is real. So I did my best, and it seems it was fair. I mean, good enough um, to kind of call some attention from people. So they did a lot of special training with me, like you have to know this, you have to know that, and 6 months later. So we are talking about. Uh, so this began the training sessions June 95, and by June 96, I was I don't know how to say this, like the bench of the IMO team.
okay.
So the IMO team is 6 students, and I was eighth in
Oh,
the qualifying. So they said that you are not going because everyone is fine. So just the main six are going to travel. But we hope with just 1 year of training, you doing eight, you understand that you are good. But you have to train more.
yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm fine. I will do this. And 1 year later, I was in the IMO for the first time. It was the first time a Latin American country got 6 medals out of six,
Really?
all bronze, but still 6 out of 6 is good. And 1 year later, I was again in the IMO, and it was the first and sadly for me the only time Colombia has got a gold medal.
The only gold medalist from Colombia. Wow, wow. I mean, wow, that's really fascinating. What do you find? What was the most memorable thing about the IMO? What do you remember the most about the IMO?
Um, Actually, because I worked later with the organization of the Olympiads, we talked a lot about what you remember about an Olympiad after you have been there as a contestant and then as a leader, and then so based on your role, you remember some things more than others. As a contestant, you always remember the food and the test.
The food. Where
Yeah.
was the IMO those years? Where? What countries?
97, it was Argentina, Mar del Plata, and 98, it was Taipei.
Okay, okay. And some good food.
Food in Taipei was amazing. I mean, I won't say food in Argentina was not good, it was really good, but still, if you travel, you expect your food to be different and to be kind of something that blows your mind. And actually, Taipei, 13 hours difference in time with Colombia. So we were expecting like the best, and it was really close to the best.
Wow, wow, really? That's awesome. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, do you remember your coaches and teammates? Do you want to do a shout out to them?
Yeah, sure. I will say uh, my first greeting is not for one of my IMO teammates or coaches, but this guy, his name is Javier Madroñero. He was the very first coach that actually showed me you are good if you want to be. So basically, all of my math Olympiad history is because Javier was able to get to me in that sense. So I have to thank Javier. And then to all the people that traveled with me, not only to the IMO, but to the Ibero-American Math Olympiad and to the Rio de la Plata Math Olympiad and all those contests. Um, Math Olympiads are an individual contest. I mean, you just do your test, but still, if you don't have someone by your side that tells you we can do this, it's harder. So I have to say, I won't go name by name because the list is long, but I have to say, seriously, thanks to all of them.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, I saw your resume. Nowadays, you help promote competitive mathematics.
I try. I try. I'm not in an organization. I mean, I help sometimes the people in Panama to do their Olympiad. I used to work with the Olympiad in Venezuela. Um, from time to time, I help some small math Olympiads in Colombia. Um, I think the math Olympiad is for me today not the issue of finding the best competitor, the best contestant. I mean, that's good. I mean, if you are really good and you can handle it and you can get the gold or whatever, is very good. But actually, I think the best we can get out of a math Olympiad is to use the math Olympiad as some kind of a Trojan horse. Like you use competition, you use the contest to show math, to show people that there is math beyond what whatever is done in school.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I have a question. Why is it 25 years later, you still the only gold medalist from Colombia?
I have no idea, and I have to say this is not. something that makes me proud. It's actually something that makes me kind of sad because I used to work also with the Colombian Math Olympiad. So um, we were always like getting these really good students and trying to help them and working, but still we were not able to get that second when I was there. And after I left, uh, I think results have not been better than whatever I left there. So I won't say this is an issue of mentality or this is an issue of Latino or Colombian people not being good at math. We have fantastic mathematicians. We have a very good selection process. We have a lot of Olympiads, and in each one of them, you can see the talent. Um, I think in the end, it is a mix of uh, being at your best and having a little luck.
Okay.
I mean, you know, being a competitor, being a contestant in this kind of events is not so different from being a highly trained sports competitor. So you can be really good if you are not at your best the day you need to be. I will talk about soccer, about football, because this is what I know the most. But you can be the best player ever, and you can still not be at your best. And in the final, you can take your penalty kick and throw it like
Yeah.
away, like basically out of the stadium. So it happens.
Yeah.
So you have to be at your best, and also you have to have some luck. And it's not dumb luck. It's not just don't train at all and go there and it will happen. It doesn't work that way. But you have to get the kind of problem you understand and you feel comfortable with. I mean, in Math Olympiads, we usually think about five different uh, big topics like number theory, so arithmetic and that stuff, geometry, basic algebra, combinatorics, and whatever else. So kind of a miscellaneous fifth spot. And usually you are very good at something, but you are not so good at everything. So if you get from this, you have a list of six problems, and if you get two in that area you are not so good, you are probably not gonna get a gold. I used to tell my students when I was a trainer there, when I was helping them, uh, if you are very good at one single topic, you are gonna get a bronze. If you are good at almost everything, but you are bad at one, you are gonna get a silver. You have to be good at everything and amazing at one to get a gold.
Wow. You know, and from the only IMO gold medalist from Colombia, your words carry weight. Your words carry weight. Uh, where do you keep your gold medal?
I have to say, and this is embarrassing, I don't know.
What?
I keep like really close to my desk the certificate because they give you a medal and this diploma. So I keep the diploma because the diploma is something that you can take a picture or a scan or whatever. And also I have a scan of my diploma. So, but the medal, no idea. I
Oh
I actually
no.
looked for it like 1 month ago, and it was like I think maybe it is at mom's, but not sure.
Oh wow. You need to proudly display it. It's such an honor. It's such an honor that you represent Colombia in that way. It's such an honor. It's such an honor. Uh, so
I agree with you, it is, but still, it is not something that I like people to kind of think that I did my best there and it was all. I mean, it was 26 years ago, almost 26 years ago. So I don't want people to think So this guy peaked at 16, and so if someone knows, I mean, like you found me and that stuff, but it's fine. But I think right now I prefer for people to think of me as someone that is trying to help new students to get better math. Uh, Sorry, let me rephrase that. Get better math and get better at math.
Okay.
Um, and I think, for example, I'm really proud of that medal, but I'm also proud of my puzzle. So my puzzle looks nice.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Great backdrop. So, what is it like to be a mathematics college professor?
I enjoyed a lot, and I have to say, I don't use the word professor mostly. I use teacher
Okay.
because I don't do what usually college university professors do. I don't do that much research. I do mostly my teaching. I like my teaching. I like at least trying to get the concepts to people. I don't know how you feel math works right now in Texas and in the US and that stuff, but I kind of feel frustrated that we used to put so much attention to algorithms, so people needs to be able to do. And for me, the goal in my sessions with my students, I need you to be able to do, but also I need you to be able to understand. And that's my goal in my teaching. And for that reason, I enjoy my teaching a lot. And I don't do this much research. I mean, from time to time, I do some stuff, but I don't do this much research because for me right now, the goal is show math in a better way, independent of where do you show it. I mean, I have a formal, like ministry approved and university approved class. So I have a curricula for this class, and I have to work with that. And I will do that, but I will try to show you the best math I can within that curriculum. But also, I do sometimes talks, and I will try to do in my talks. Those are a little less, uh, how to say this, kind of. I have more freedom selecting what I'm going to talk about in my talks, but I still want whoever is in front of me, whoever is listening to me, to get a better concept of math than just an algorithm.
So, so what advice can you offer the youth that come across this interview?
Try to put understanding in front of doing.
Okay. Understanding, conceptual understanding.
Yes, because you can be very good at algorithms, and then you go to your next algorithm and you will have no idea why. But
Wow.
if you do your algorithms, and you have to do them, I mean, you have to add, you have to multiply, you have to do all that stuff. But if you understand the why, then when you move to your next algorithm, you will say, oh, I see this and I can relate to this. And if you relate, you are going to probably do better.
Great. Understand the why. That's a great advice and great advice. So, what do you value the most about your Olympiad experience?
That's a hard question because there are many things. As I said, the food, traveling, the food was very good. But I have to say, probably being able to go beyond whatever I thought I was capable of doing. I mean, in math Olympiads, every time you get a problem, someone already did it. It's not like when you are a professional mathematician that you do your research and the problems, the questions you address are usually stuff that no one else has done before. In the Math Olympiads, you know someone already knows the answer because they have to grade you, so they have to know where is the end of this. Uh, but still, even if you know that someone else knows the answer or knows the path, you don't. So you are always facing a question that is new for you.
Yes.
And being able to say, I can sit in front of these questions and I can read them, look at them, and say, this is new for me, but still I have an idea and I can work my ideas. Uh, that's something that goes beyond the Math Olympiad experience. I mean, I was able to realize that in my Math Olympiad experience. But then after that, sitting in front of whatever problem life puts in front of you and saying, I have no idea of this. I mean, I have never seen this before, but I can just sit, think for a second, and come with an idea and at least try. I think that's something I value a lot about my Math Olympiad experience.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Professor Bernal, what does the future have in store for you?
Hmm. I hope a good breakfast. I have to water my plants. I think you are talking a little longer than 1 hour in front. So uh, I think I will try to increase the audience and the reach of my work as someone that speaks about math. Um, I will try. I will do my best to do better with the Colombian Math Society. I think that's a good project. That's something that really, if we work that good, it can relate to people. And it can relate to math teachers at schools. It can relate to some parents. It can relate to students. And for me, as I said before, talking about better math and allowing people to see better math and to be better at math uh, is probably my main concern at the moment.
Awesome.
So my future is try to walk that path and try to increase my footprint on that.
Well, as the only gold medalist in the history of Colombian IMO contestants, your words should carry weight. People should be listening to you. So that's so awesome. Um, any parting words or final thoughts as we conclude this interview?
Um, well, first, of course, I want to thank you. You did a lot of work finding me. Then, thanks to the audience, listening to me in this kind of broken English is probably not so easy, but thank you. And if you are really someone that thinks about math and wants to be better at math, keep working. It I mean, I usually joke with my students at the university. There is this Argentinian band that is called Soda Stereo. I don't know if you have ever heard them. Um, and in one of the songs, they have this phrase. They say, practicar no te hace perfecto. So practice does not make you perfect. Because everyone talks about practice makes perfection. And the joke is they say no, it doesn't. And I always tell my students they have the right idea. Practice does not make you perfect, but it's the best way to be close to perfect. So if you really want to be better at math, practice.
Ah, Professor Bernal, I cannot thank you enough. Muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you for everything and for giving me the info. Hey, I'm in Houston. If you ever come visit Houston, mi casa es su casa. All right, mi casa es su casa. If you ever come to Houston, I hope you look me up. Hey, we have good food in Houston. We have good food.
Actually, I've been in Texas, not in Houston, but in Austin, because I also love F1, Formula One, and they
Oh,
have the Circuit of the Americas. So I went to the F1 race in 2015.
oh,
It was a weird experience because there was a hurricane.
oh.
So traveling from New York to Houston took almost 2 days, like by plane, because there were 3 stops or 4 stops or something like that. But still, it was worth it because of the race, but also because of the barbecue.
The barbecue. Yes, the barbecue. Exactly. I'm so happy you got a chance to try it. Well, hey, you ever come back, let's go together.
I'll do.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. And I wish you good luck and farewell, Professor Bernal. Farewell.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Wow, what an interesting and fascinating story. Professor Bernal, I thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story, and good luck to you as you spread the beauty of math. Thank you very much. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's spread this joy, let's spread this beauty to as many people as possible. I have plenty of wonderful things in store for this channel, and I truly appreciate your support. My name is Saul Cantu, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Farewell.